Good evening, everyone. Can I get a good evening?
Good evening.
Welcome to the 478th meeting of Centenary Toastmasters. Now, when I was coming here, I got a call from Navya, and she said, "You will be the essay." And I said, "I'm not prepared. What should I do? What should I do?" And I went back to that time where I just couldn't speak in public, and I had the most hardest time in public speaking. But since coming to Toastmasters has changed that, and if you're the one who struggles, who struggles or who used to struggle, regardless, with speaking in public, then Toastmasters is the place for you. Together, the mission of our club is to provide a positive and supportive learning experience in which our members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Well, speaking of confidence, now it's time to invite our president to the physical stage. Please welcome Toastmaster and President of Central Toastmasters, Toastmaster President. Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today?
Great.
Yes. Are we full of energy?
Yes.
If you are not, the meeting is surely going to be. Let us start the meeting by taking 30 seconds of silence for world peace. Thank you, everyone. They say that one opportunity in life, just one opportunity in life leads you and opens the doors to many other opportunities. That was something which I never believed in. How is this possible? How can one opportunity open the door for other opportunities in my life? I did not believe in this. But this is something which just manifested in my life recently. Because of Toastmasters. NALCON, a cybersecurity conference which takes place every year in Goa, recently pulled out their volunteer form. So if you're a volunteer at NALCON, they will compensate for your stay, they will compensate for your conference pass, they will also compensate for your food. I went ahead and I did that. With no hopes at all of being selected at all. I went ahead and filled that form. And I just mentioned that I am the president of one of the most respected Toastmasters clubs in Delhi. I did not believe. I never believed that they would ever take me, but 2 weeks after that, I received a mail. Welcome to NALCON. There it was. The NALCON mail. And just as I was wondering, what possible task could they give me who has no experience in volunteership, me who has no experience in setting up a conference. As I scrolled down, I saw my name, and just beside my name, it was written host. So a host is someone who will introduce the speakers. A host is someone who will make sure that the conference is transitioning well. So basically, a host is the team-out of the conference. And there I was. And that was the moment I realized that it is through these small opportunities in life, it is through these small opportunities that we grasp at a very low level, do we get a bigger result. And here today, I would like to go back to the day when I asked, what is your why? Why did you join Toastmasters? It is fine if that why has changed over time. It is fine if that why is not something which is a very definite and a fixated goal. That is fine. But as long as you have that why clear, Toastmasters will always be the beginning of opportunities in your life. Moving on with the meeting, I will now request guest Sridhar to come up on stage, tell us about who they are, what do they do, and how did they come to know about Toastmasters? Can we have guests on the full speak?
So yeah, about Toastmasters, I got to know about it from my counselor. As I just passed from my school and passed, so I was applying for college. So my counselor said, and I know you are very shy, I'm very shy actually, and public speaking is on zero. And so my counselor said that join Toastmasters and broaden your scope. So that's why I have joined the.
Thank you, Mr. We now have guest Praveen with us. Can we have guest for Praveen on the stage? Could you tell us about what do you do, who you are, and how do you come to know about Toastmasters?
Thank you. Hello, good evening. My name is Karim, and I heard about Toastmasters from one of my friends. And why I am going to join Toastmasters? Because sometimes I feel I have some public speaking issues, so I want to continue with Toastmasters to upgrade my communication and public speaking. Thank you.
Thank you, guest. I would now like to ask the next masters if we have any guests on the virtual stage.
We have guest Hardik.
Guest Hardik, could you please come up to the virtual stage, unmute yourself, tell us about who you are, what do you do, and how did you come to know about Toastmasters?
Hi. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Hardik, you're audible.
Hi, I'm Hardik Agarwal, and I did my graduation in Bachelor's of Journalism and Mass Communications. And since then, I was working with Better.com as an analyst. And recently, I have left my job, and I was looking for something who would add to my professional experience and also would help me become a better communicator. So I was just searching about it, and I saw one LinkedIn post about Toastmasters. So I was researching about it. So I got to know about your club, and that is how I ended up here.
Thank you, yes, Hardik.
Thank you.
Do you have any more virtual guests? Yes, Amisha, would you please like to unmute yourself, tell us who you are, what do you do, and how did you come to know about Toastmasters? Yes, Amisha, we would also request you to turn on your video so that we could spotlight you here at the physical venue. No? That's all right. We can move to the next guest. Do we have any of you?
Yes, Dipankar.
Yes, Dipankar, would you please like to unmute yourself, open your camera, and tell us about who you are, what do you do, and how did you come to know about Toastmasters? We can see you, guest Dipankar, but it seems that you're not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes, Dipankar, you're audible now.
Okay, thank you. So hi everyone, my name is Dipankar and I got to know about Toastmasters through my brother who had suggested this as a personal development and communication platform which can improve my communication skills. I currently work as a consultant with Deloitte and yeah, happy to be part of the group. Thank you.
Thank you, guest Dipankar. Do you have any more guests on the stage? It seems that you were just joined by a new guest on the physical stage. Sir, would you please come up on the stage, introduce yourself? Yes, tell us who you are, what do you do, and how did you come to know about Toastmasters? If you could please come over here. The name?
Ashok Wankhede. My name is Ashok Wankhede. मैं एक हाईवे प्रोजेक्ट पे इंजीनियर हूँ, द्वारका एक्सप्रेस में रेसिडेंट इंजीनियर. मुझे मेल आया था टोस्टमास्टर्स क्लब का, तो मेरा पहला टाइम मैं बोला एक बार जाके चेक कर लो तो क्या होता है, इसलिए मैं मुझे अच्छा लगता है. Sure.
Thank you so much. that being said, let us now call upon the stage our Toastmaster of the day with a topic family of inertia, a magic formula. Family of inertia, magic formula. Toastmaster 1.
Thank you, President. Guys, you remember that when we come back home after a long, tiring, gloomy day, or after endless surveys, when suddenly our family members embrace us with that jadoo ki jhappi? Or do you recall your board exams when your mother used to come running to your bus stop just to feed you that dahi chini for good fortune? And during the most trying circumstances of our life, when our mothers fondles us with grace and suddenly everything seems exuberant. That's the magic of a family. Their one touch or one smile has a magic to change our entire world altogether. Since the very inception of our life, they hold our hands, teach us to walk, run, and take on this big bad world. And they forever act as a protective umbrella to all of us. So sometimes we can have quarrels with them due to difference of opinion or maybe generation gap. But their inner motive is always to see it as the pinnacle. The love and compassion which they shower to us is unparalleled to any other joy in this world. But in today's era, the good old days where family life was believed to be a symbol of perfection has gone past. Values such as love, compassion, adjustment, affection have been completely forgotten altogether. Urbanization has disintegrated the big, fat, happy families into nuclear ones. And it strives for only materialistic success, productive excellence, and of course, most importantly, the overexposure to technology and social media has separated us from our roots. In terms of privacy, we have become extremely isolated individuals and values and terms such as loneliness, sadness, anxiety, anger issues, temper issues have become a way of life. Isn't it true? Ask yourself, how many of us actually sit together with our family and eat at least one meal together? Or why do we need something like old age homes in our society? Lots to ponder upon. So in today's meeting, let us dive deeper into this theme and bring in one of the favorite moments spent with our family to restate the mind of the family. Family, God's biggest blessing. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. A very, very warm welcome at the 478th meeting of Central Valley Toastmasters. So for all the new members and guests, I'll quickly start out the course of today's meeting. We'll be having 3 segments. First is the prepared speeches segment, in which prepared speakers will be narrating their respective speeches. Second one is the impromptu speaking session, which we call it as a table topic segment. Don't worry, it is not as difficult as it sounds. You will be given just some basic general topics and you just have to work out whatever comes in your mind. No one will judge you. Also, I specifically request guests to participate specifically as much as possible during this segment. And the last one for the day is the evaluation segment. Don't get stressed by the word evaluation. No one will scrutinize you. It's just a feedback session led by TM Navya, where she with her team of 6 auxiliary role players will be pointing out some areas of improvement for all the speakers and the entire course of meeting at large. So without any further ado, let's welcome our first auxiliary role player for the day. Before that, I have a small little task for all of you. Before introducing your respective roles or narrating your speeches, I request you all to share your favorite memories of your families. And I know everybody is abusing me. Someone please. You have to bear with me for today. So let's have our timer for the day, TM Raji. He is a very keen traveler and the timer.
evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Rajiv, and I'll be playing the role of the timer today. So just before I start with my role and I explain you what I'll be doing, just wanted to check how many people know Japan, been to Japan, interacted with any of the Japanese people, anyone knows about the Japanese society, anyone about anything about Japan? Yeah.
Japan has really fast rail. Japan has one of the highest densely populated cities in the world, Tokyo.
Yeah.
Japan has one of the smallest land areas compared to the country.
Right.
Japan had industrial revolution before most other Asian countries.
That's true.
Japan is still promoting nuclear energy.
That's true.
Japan recently.
I guess you have so many things. So I come to the point. The one thing I was looking for was what is Japan famous for? So anybody knows sushi, sashimi, sumo, but they're disciplined, they're punctual, and they're on time. So if you see any of the Japanese people around the world, if you are meeting them, no matter you are in Delhi, no matter you try to bring them in your society, they will still ensure they come on time despite you tell them come at 8 o'clock and you yourself turn at 8:30, but they will come at 8 o'clock, no matter what. So this is, so whenever we meet any friends, so in our term we use, so they say, okay, let's meet at 8 o'clock. So then we ask, is it Japanese time or Indian time? So Japanese time is known for their preciseness all over the world, not only in India, all over the world. So to start with, I'll tell you what, in 1873, Ministry of Education in Japan passed a resolution saying that every kid coming to the school will arrive 10 minutes early. If they do not come on time, then they do not enter the class without proper explanation. And this was nurtured since a very young age. So this is how Japan has come up. They have been perfect today. Everyone in Japan is perfectly. So I'll give you an example. How many times you have seen that, train departing has people apologize. I think everyone in the world knows that if a train is departing late, everybody apologizes. But do you know that Japan, if any train departs early, they apologize. In 2017, a bullet train departed just 20 seconds before its time, and they wrote an apology to each and everyone, official apology. So this is how they are. In fact, in the parliament, minister turned up 3 minutes late, and he was publicly, in fact, in the parliament, apologized to everyone. Can you imagine? So Japan is known for the time, and everyone who doesn't show up in the time, they show a very sorry face. So today, Toastmasters, so I'll be playing the role of a timer. So in timer, we have 4 categories, that is table topics, icebreaker, and we have prepared speeches and individual evaluation. So it is going to be divided into 3 parts. Let's say if you are falling in the category of 4 to 6 minutes. So in 4 minutes, I'll show you the green card. In 5 minutes, I'll show you the yellow card. And in 7 minutes, I'll show you the red card, that because that you do not have to exceed your speeches. So for the table topics, the time is maximum 2 minutes, which I explained, I did, or the auxiliary role. Icebreaker is 4 to 6 minutes for you, all the best, and other 5 to 7 minutes for the prepared speeches, and individual 2 to 3 minutes. So I hope we all know that what red, yellow, and green stands for. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Rajiv. Next up is our language evaluator, our secretary of our class, TM Anmol, playing this role. He is a graphic designer, currently working in the field of marketing. Please share your family moment and stay on.
Thank you, Madam TM Modi. Well, my moment of family was back in 5th grade, where I was not that good at English, to be very honest. And what my dad used to do was lock all the cartoon channels. Hindi mein and used to make documentaries. See, sir, that's an animal. See, that's the and that, when I had that moment where I thought, this is useless. So instant karma for it by actually failing in my English exam, and unfortunately, I had to ask for my dad's help. I had to get down from the ivory tower and I had to ask for my dad's help. And he had this very weird method of teaching me where he used to go to speak any word of English. And I used to say something in broken English and he used to always correct me. Today I'll be doing something very akin to that. Good evening, everyone. My name is Anmol and I will be your language validator. I will be pointing out the good uses and the bad uses of English. Also, the word of the day is nurture, which is a verb which means to basically care for or protect something which is growing. Example is Jack was brought up in a nurturing family. Also, when I urge everyone to use the word of the day, and also if the word of the day is used, please, everyone, please present a thumbs up, virtual and physical. And also the medium of today's meeting is English. So any sort of sentence or language which should be any other language, it should be translated in English. Thank you all. That's all from my side. I'll be presenting myself in the evaluation segment.
Thank you, DM. You know, my favorite time of the day, for which I actually look forward, is that dinner time with my parents. That 1 hour, I don't know why, it always acts as a solace for me that I don't have to sleep with a heavy heart. That's the power of sharing with your family. It literally erases all the hindrances and worries with such an ease. And on that note, it's time to welcome someone who will remove and at least try to erase the hindrances of our speech. The our counter for the day, TM Praveen. TM Praveen, our counter.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Like we know, our families are precious to each one of us. So similar to that, I also have very fond memories with my family. Like when I was in my childhood, my father used to bring loads of chocolates for me. And whenever I used to get good marks in my exams, my mother used to cook my favorite dishes for me. So like that, these were very fond memories, which I still cherish to this day, to present. And now coming to speeches. So I'm playing the role of a counter today. And whenever the members give their speeches, they sometimes try to give perfect speeches, but sometimes there are hindrance in their speeches, like they use sometimes like filler words, filler sounds. So my role as the counter would be to note down the use of filler words, such as I, you know, and filler sounds such as and also sometimes repetitive words or phrases which are used, and also sometimes long pauses and short pauses. So I will urge all the speakers to try to minimize the use of these words so that they would be able to give their speeches in an effective manner. And I will present my report in the final evaluation segment. Thank you, and back to Toastmasters.
Up next is the parliamentarian for the day, TM Kamal. He is really fond of going for long walks and he loves reading books. Let's welcome TM Kamal on board.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Malvika, for handing over the stage to me. So I am playing the role of the parliamentarian today. And before sharing the do's and the don'ts, I would like to share that the theme chosen today is really a very near and dear theme to all our Indian fraternity of people, because we all are family people, I think. And we all love to be with our families. And it's one of the integral parts of our culture. And talking about one incident that reminds me is that we are a very I'm a very close knitted family person. And like 19th of March 2019, I was blessed with a baby daughter, and I think since then it's my life has entirely changed. And I think one that moment is that really I cherish as a family, so it completed my family. Now coming to the role of the parliamentarian, I think what one thing we do is how anything we do is how everything we do. So that is the role of a parliamentarian, talking about certain do's and don'ts. It's very important to have a self discipline and decorum in anything whatever we are doing. So talking about the meeting today, there are certain do's and don'ts that I am going to talk, wherein for all the people who are online, I would urge to have their cameras on and to have their voices on mute when they are not speaking. And I would request all the people to keep their mobiles on silent mode, because it unnecessarily disrupts the meeting when the speaker is speaking. And talking about if anybody wants to enter or exit the room, kindly do only on the moment when they are having an applause in the room. And talking about certain delicate topics and subjects like sex, politics, and religion, I think it's not a taboo. We can talk, but we should be considerate that we do not hurt the sentiments of any people. So I think with this, I part my role and I give the stage back to TMOD, and I will give my report and share my report when the general evaluators calls me. Thank you so much.
Guys, do you remember that during our childhood, when for juvenile demands, small little demands, our parents used to refuse, and then we used to go running towards our grandparents, and they never said no to us, to any amount of chocolate, ice cream, or for anything for that matter. And do you remember the theory which they quote, "Asal se pyara food hota hai"? And today, what they demand us, it's just they want us to be their ears and spend some quality time with us. Are they really expecting so much? Is it really so difficult for us to spare a few moments out of our busy time? Can't we give them the time that we are conveniently wasting in interacting with that unknown world on social media? Give it a thought. And while you are retrospecting, it's time to welcome the ears of today's meeting, the listeners for the day. CM Raghav.
So, good evening to the fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So, today's theme is about family. Family is an integral part of our lives, right? Family is a place which is our first school, where we learn the most basic and the first things which we need to learn. So, there are many things which we get from the family, like we get unconditional love, we get a lot of support, and nothing expecting from return from us. So there are so many moments of my life that I remember that they made my life more great. So one of the memories are that there are some moments in life that you feel like you are not valued by your family. I'm useless for them. Why I'm here? Why I'm a part of this family? We get this feeling, right? But on the day, 5th August 2019, the day when I was leaving for my graduation in Delhi, I saw the emotions on my parents' face. I still remember those expressions. And they said, "Ja rahe hain." And I was like, "Look, I will be back. I'm going for good." Right? So yeah. And one of the best moments of my life is the day when my niece was born. She was born in this year, on 19th April 2022. So back to my role. So it's really important to have a good listening skill, right? It helps us to be a good communicator. It helps us to solve conflicts, right? It helps us to make it sound like we are or not. So, questions in the evaluation segment, and in return at the end we will get the idea how good listener you are. So back to you.
And now it's time to welcome the joke master for the day. Again, TM Raghav. TM Raghav, stage is on.
As a joke, for me, I'm a joke for my family. and same goes for me. They are one of the biggest entertainment shows. So let me tell you one incident that happened. It was around after my board exam. We were going to a family function in Himachal Pradesh. We all have ordered a bus, personal bus, and in the bus, all our family members were there. We all, as usual, they were fighting about what is that, and with that, and that is a very friendly fighting. Even though it can lead to, it lead to a 5 minutes of silence and a little bit of less entertainment for me. When we reached the spot, it was a temple, and one of the priests tells us don't roam around after 11 o'clock. After 11 o'clock at night, and one of my family members and one of my mothers say, the witch will not take him. Even the witch is not. He's not even witch will disown him. Don't worry about it. And you know, for me and my brother, my cousin brother, they allotted me a room, and that was room separated like all this connected, and there is a gap, and this is me and my brother's room, still disconnected from my family. After that, we were fighting over the sharing of the bed with my brother when we reached home, and the brother said to me, you should be at near the door, because if the murderer, if someone which came, she will go to you first, not me. And I said, if she came through the window, then I said, no. अच्छा तू वहीं पर ही बैठ जा यार, उधर ही रहता, मैं तेरी रक्षा करूँगा, कोई नहीं. फिर उसके बाद then after that he went out, and I didn't care. Maybe he was gone playing with the monkeys, and I was watching movie that was Conjuring. and suddenly the lights gone out, and there was a scene, and there was some and when the door was open, it suddenly got shut down, and I am nurtured by my family. I was thinking how would I be able to face them, and then suddenly, like the same scene, the Conjuring, there was something like this. My heart was on my mouth. Literally, I was so scared at that time, and suddenly this again. And I was, reciting Hanuman Chalisa, Gayatri Mantra and all, and suddenly the voice came. And it was my brother. And from that time forward, I thank God. I will never say ill about my brother, never say ill about my family, and never watch Conjuring in the mountain. Especially where there's a witch around. There is a rumor of witch around there. Thank you.
So let's start the first session for the day. Our first speaker for the day is PM Sakshi. Today is her first step towards a never-ending journey of learning. She describes herself as a keen learner and she loves to introspect. But before calling her, let's welcome her evaluator to lay out the speech objectives, TM Arjun Prasad.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Especially a very good evening to Sakshi. She is going to deliver her level 1, project 1, icebreaker speech, where she will be introducing herself to the club members, and the objective of her speech is to, apart from introducing herself to the club, to learn the basic structure of the public speaking. So I wish best of luck to Shakshi, and back to TMOD. Thank you.
Same Sakshi with her title, The Tale of Her Life. The Tale of Her Life, same Sakshi. Tell me a fact and I'll learn. Tell me the truth and I'll believe. But tell me a story and it will stay in my heart forever. This has been my life since my childhood. My today's speech is all about this one term, story, the importance of it and the incidents supporting it. To relate to each and every word I just said, I would love to take you back in time, the time when I was. Life was going pretty fun as far as I remember. My parents were working professionals. Both did not get any time with me during the day. So we had this pact. Every night when they would come back home, they narrate me a story. It was the most happening moment of my life. The stories were from Ramayana, the tale of Mahabharata, the Dhruv Tara, the North Star, the four yugas, the Saptarishis, and the list goes on. Since I regained my consciousness as a child, I remember these stories I've heard for 1,000 number of times, and I knew each and every detail of it. These stories nurtured me from inside, made me a believer, a person who catches my emotions more than facts, a person who looks out for fantasies more than reality, a person who loves stories. Slowly, as I grew up, they decided to give up on the habit of narrating the tales to me, and I realized this is the time to live the story. Whichever book, movie, web series I would come across, I would create a plot, live all the characters in that plot, and become one myself. I would enact in front of a mirror or sometimes in a bedroom, but this was. I did not tell anybody that this is my blissful hobby. But unfortunately, all of this lasted till this day. It was a chilled winter morning. My parents were out at work. I and my grandfather were at home. He was sitting in the balcony, sipping his tea, reading his newspaper, and I was in the bedroom, living the life of my dreams. This was some drama I saw 2 days back about an old town girl named Sanya who is really bullied by the people of her college. I was consoling her as she was sitting beside me, did not realize I was so engrossed that my grandfather was peeping through the window, perplexed, in a deep thought. What is happening? He stepped in and said, "Oi!" There was a silence. I was totally embarrassed. My secret was out. He sat near me and asked, "Who were you talking to?" I said, hesitant enough, "You won't understand." The next moment, you won't believe what happened. He took me to the temple. For what? For a dhara. People who don't know what dhara is, this is the process that a priest does whenever you have an evil eye or you experience something good. Both 60-year-old men, the priest and my grandfather, were friends, and they had a truth. They made me sit in the between of the temple, everybody surrounding me. The priest was doing his procedure, and people were blabbering about the incident that just happened. I was shattered. I was being humiliated in public. A 5-year-old girl did not know what to say. Slowly, after completing the process, the suspicious and concerned priest came near me and asked, "Beta, do you see anything? Is there anybody who's troubling you? Is there a problem with you?" And I started crying like anything. How could I have I told them my love for story, that I was crazy to live in those moments? Life passed by, and I became someone who has decided to give up on the fantasies and live my life with practicality. It was 10th and 12th, right? The time when your neighbor knows better than you what lifestyle you should be following for better. Everybody was giving me advices, and I left behind books, movies, and my passion for stories. I did my schools with good grades, had my graduation done, got into corporate world, did my job, became an employee. There was something missing in me, an unpleasantness, an unsatisfaction. I could not take it with myself. There was a confusion, undecisiveness. And so I came to my mother and told her what I was feeling. She said, let's take a break. She planned a trip for me and we went on a trip. During the trip, there were moments when I used to take out my phone quickly to record something, to take a picture, to hold on that memory that I was going through. When I came back home, when I was scrolling through all those photos, I felt I would love to experience and share it with people. My story, I would love to take it to the people who would love to know about it. I decided to become a verbal storyteller at that moment. Not to block my energies, but to do what I am supposed to do, to fill the void of creative success. I decided to not become only a verbal storyteller, but a visual storyteller as well. Passionately, I make networks for enterprises, but passionately, I want to become a storyteller for life. I am looking forward towards the never-ending path, the journey of storytelling, and Toastmasters is my first step towards. This is who I am. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sakshi, for such a wonderful icebreaker. I request everyone to please give her some feedback. Are we done? Meanwhile, let's invite our second speaker for the day. She is a girl who has been awarded with a lot of accolades. She has served as a president, vice president membership, and treasurer of CDTM. But before calling upon, let's have our evaluator to lay out the speech objectives. TM.
Thank you very much, Team Maud, and as she was also described as the queen of vocabulary. Today I'll be playing the role of a speech evaluator for Gursifas. Gursifas has served as the past president in CDTM, and she used to be very active in CDTM club, but then she got a job and she got busy in life. Now we have an opportunity to hear her speech. That would be innovative planning, level 5 speech, and she has a very beautiful speech title, which is Drawing a Line for Yourself, which I'm really excited to listen from her. She would be sharing an aspect of her leadership experience and the impact of lesson learned meetings. So I wish her best of luck, and I'm really looking forward to hear from her. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Let's have TM Gursifas drawing a line for you. Just imagine, there are no borders, no limitations, nothing between two countries. Dominating countries are overpowering neighbor countries. Every person is invading in others' lives. There is no sense of security, freedom. Can you imagine that how will a country has its own identity? Just think for a moment. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and your guests. That's why borders are important between two countries. Similarly, in a human life, the work for a boundary does. What exactly is a boundary? Have you ever thought of it? Boundary is a line, guideline, rules that you set for yourself so that the other person can behave in a certain way with you, can treat you in a certain way. You are not taken for granted. In short, it's a physical and emotional limit that you set, and the other person can't enter in that area. Okay, let me give you a few examples. For example, you are in a job and your managers and leaders are going for parties, but you are not a party animal. You don't like clubbing, you don't like drinking. If you will say no to your managers, you might be termed as not so cool person. Is that what you think? No, my dear friend. If you say no, that's all right. Just state your needs properly to your manager and it will be okay. Second example, you have your best friend, a person who comes to you, emotionally dumps everything on you. The personal heartbreak he had, what she had, trauma, all the emotional crisis, without seeing that you as a person also have a life. You get so anxious and so worried that everything burdens upon you. That's not okay. I understand that he or she is your best friend, but you can say no. And next time, if you want to share a story with someone, please ask them, are you emotionally available? Can I share a story of my life with you? That's the right approach. Now let's discuss 5 boundaries of life. Firstly, emotional boundaries. As we discussed about emotional dumping, it's one of the types. Also, it's absolutely okay how you feel, for whom you feel, what you feel. No one in this world has to tell you you can't feel that way. You can't feel that anxiety. Oh my God. No. You don't have to justify your feelings to everyone. It's okay. Whatever you are feeling for whomever you are. Secondly, possession and material boundaries. You have a beautiful dog and your neighbor tease that dog every time and full. There have been many times that your dog got hurt. Just state your reasons to your neighbor that you won't be able to give your dog and you want to let him be treated properly. She might get sad, but she'll understand your point of view if you tell her clearly. Thirdly, mental boundaries, and it's really important. Your thoughts, your values, your ideology can be different from people. Every one of us sitting here can have different values. But that doesn't mean that if you are in an association with someone, that person tries to manipulate your core values, tries to manipulate you, tries to put you down. It's not all right. Fourth, time and energy boundaries. You are at your office, you get a work overtime. You don't want to do, but just for the sake of reputation, just for the sake of earning a better image in front of your manager, you just take it and have a burden on you. Just think about it. Rethink about it, and then say yes. A friend is there who is always making last minute plans, taking you for granted because he or she knows that you will agree. Just think what the intention of other person is. Fifth, physical boundaries. You are in a relationship. Touch, proximity, getting closer. It's okay if you don't want to. Just clearly state it. The other person, if he or she is not understanding, that means you are maybe in a toxic relationship. If you are not okay hugging a friend, okay, tell him or her. These are my boundaries. Please don't cross that. Passing a sexual comment is not at all okay. It's not a joke that people think. Now the question comes, how to make your boundaries. I've made a small acronym for that. 3 C's that you need to follow. First C is clear your boundaries. Set your boundaries. If you have good reasons for your boundaries, nobody would be like, why? If they are saying why, then you will get to know that what's going on in their mind. You are worthy of your boundaries. You should love yourself. Second, communicate. If somebody is misbehaving with you, manipulating you, I'm not saying go and shout at that person, fight with that person. But in any kind of relationship, you should have healthy arguments with that person. It's very necessary. So clearly communicate. Third, and this is the most difficult one, stay committed. Commitment. Stick to it. I know it's gonna be difficult because people you love will see a change in you that, oh, that person used to agree with me every time. Now that person is not agreeing with me. What will happen? That person will try to convince you to change your yes to change your no to yes, but you need to stick. It's gonna be scary, it's gonna be difficult, but for whom you have to do is for yourself. You need to love yourself, protect yourself, and save yourself from this. Always remember, takers are never gonna stop. It's the givers who need to do it. Always think about yourself, think for yourself. Thank you. I request everyone to please share your feedback with her. So it's time for the last speaker of the day, which is my mentor, TM Ritwik. But before calling him, let's invite his evaluator to lay out his speech objectives, TM Rashmi on physical stage. Let's welcome TM Rashmi on virtual stage. I'm so sorry, virtual stage.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I'm going to evaluate already a very immaculate speaker, Ritwik Dash. He is going to deliver his level 3 elective project under the presentation mastery pathway. The objective of his speech is to deliver a speech to practice the skill needed to interact with audience who are not familiar or choose a topic which is unusual or an unexpected one. The timer may note down that the time for the speech allotted is 5 to 7 minutes, and the catchy title that he has given, Beloved in Your Arms, really is making me eager to listen to his speech very quickly. So without wasting the time, I would hand over the mic back to Madam Toastmaster so that she can call him on the stage. Thank you. Back to you.
Let's have TM Ritwik with his speech title, Beloved in Your Arms. TM Ritwik, Beloved in Your Arms on virtual stage.
So, kind of disclaimer, am I clearly audible? Someone please notify me. Okay. Do you really feel that privacy is a concern that Indian families reflected with? Or you may not have that same thing in your own life. Have a rewind of your own life and have a look whether you had privacy in your life. And guess what? I can guarantee 70% of you didn't have. You want to have a proof? Okay. Let me interact with my audience asking the same question. Please raise your hands. How many had privacy in your personal life while being in a joint family or in a typical Indian family? Kindly raise your hands. Okay, the scenes are pretty awestruck. And I believe it's no wonder. I'm giving an example of my family, a family whom I call as my beloved. Reasons very clear after some time I speak. It was back in those days of my life when I was discovering my love affairs of the women of my life. You know what? I was a philogynist. You know what is a philogynist? Philogynist is someone who admires women a lot, the antonym of misogynist. Well, the reason I was a philogynist is obviously because of my mom on a platonic level and women on a non-platonic level. All this coming in a concoction of a very respectful, consensual way of approaching women and admiring them. And I hope you take a note of those two words, respectful and consensual. Because those two words are the words that lay the foundation of a very respectful philologist. It was my class 11th. I remember I walked into a woman. She was very beautiful. We had a conversation. Things started rolling pretty well, and we went into a relationship. The reason I am sharing my personal life here in this platform is to give you an insight on how a family consisting of a father who is just so-called Bengali honors graduate and a mom who hails from a village who has just passed her class 10th can give you such privacy and the 21st century needs of a mind of a child, which can give you wonders and chills of how modern day parenting can actually be. For me, it was a time when I got to discover myself. It was my annual function. I remember having ice cream with my girlfriend. Now, what do you expect while you're having ice cream with your girlfriend? You don't want to be seen by your parents, right? You won't believe I was standing with my girlfriend along with my friends, and there was one of my friends telling me, "Hey, Rituk, look at your back." What happened? Hey, look at your back. What happened? I saw my father at my back, peeping like this at a moment to look at what I was doing. I was having ice cream with my girlfriend. Now, what do you expect normal Indian families to do after you go back home and have a conversation with your father? Beat you with a belt? Tell you that you are no more a part of their family? Get oust off to a property? Something like that? You won't imagine. This incident was never brought into conversation in my family till date. So therefore, I had a privacy in an Indian family, something which is not that common. Second is the same venue in this annual function. I was walking with my girlfriend, so with all of my friends whose parents also had come, but they had to be very clandestine in the sense that if their parents watch, there will be really some havoc coming up in front of them. But for me, I had a silver lining. I had a silver lining in the sense that I had some parents, some beloved people in whose arms I both enjoyed protection, not only from the outside world and vulnerability, but also a privacy breach. Therefore, I had this independence to be myself, me, mine, and myself, which is very important for personal development and maturity. I can tell you something. When I went back at those days, reminisce those memories, I can tell you something. What my parents had done for me. They had actually employed some really good 21st century methods of 21st century parenting without knowing what 21st century parenting is all about. And do you know how they did it? The only simple answer to this is interacting with people. Yes, you heard it right. Interacting with the audience. Because they may have not so many degrees in their bucket, but surely through interaction, through movies, they had actually motivated themselves to be in certain ways that they are. They taught me that there may be chaos in your life and also in the meeting you're speaking, but still go on speaking and do not end up in the wrong. Because that's how the world runs. They also taught me that having a great, meaningful conversations with the audience can actually help you derive great conclusions. Now, when I look back at my memories, having got some great parents, some beloved people, what do you expect when what happens in a breakup? It was my breakup. My father came up to me. What happened? Papa, I had a breakup. So what? और कोई और किसी को पटा ले. That was his answer. I don't know, sir. No, father, I was on her own. Okay, no, don't worry. It will take some time. We'll at the same time supplying them. That day, you won't believe. For the next 2 weeks, my father had a conversation with me on mobile phone telling me, do you want sweets? Do you want ice cream? Do you want this? Do you want that? So as to make me feel comfortable. Therefore, again, collectivism coming in the scenario along with privacy. So when you are in a relationship, they give you privacy. And when you're in a breakup, they give you that hand of support to sustain that. With this great combination, that's how my beloved are in their arms. Therefore, beloved in their arms. Thank you so much. Over to God.
I request everyone to please text him your feedback, and in the meanwhile, can we have the votes for the best speaker? Everyone, please cast your vote. Are we done? Last 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So it's time for the most exciting session of Toastmasters, the table topic segment. Also, I'm way too tired. I need some break. So for this session, I hand over the stage to TM Rudra. TM Rudra,
Good evening, dear Toastmasters and my dear guests. So I'll be the table topic master for today. Table topics are a session in Toastmasters where people are assigned impromptu topics and they have to give an impromptu speech. For this session, you will have to speak for a minimum of 1 minute to be qualified for the best table topic speaker poll. You will receive the green card at 1 minute. You will receive the yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds. You will receive the red card at 2 minutes. You will keep on receiving the red card until the timer ends at 2 minutes 30 seconds, after exceeding the time limit of 2 minutes 30 seconds, you will be disqualified from the poll. So you will have a grace period of 30 seconds after you will be first shown the red card. One of my most beautiful moments with my family are me and my family playing board games, me and my brother playing video games together, and me and my brother playing sports together. So those are one of my favorite moments with my family. A family which plays together, stays together. Art. What comes to your mind when you think about art? I personally believe that art are a key to a child's growth. Being taught art at a young age is key to a child being nurtured well. So today's table topics are based upon great works of art and popular paintings throughout history, and you will recognize many of these pieces. So the process goes like this. I'll be calling out the names of people who are interested in giving the table topic. I'll show you a random, not a totally random picture, an unknown picture to you as the table topic. You will see the picture, and whatever comes to your mind, you will speak that. Whatever comes to your mind when seeing the picture. The tech master will simultaneously present the picture to people present in the virtual room. And after the table topic ends, I'll speak a few lines about the picture. Okay. So who will be like to be the first volunteer?
You can ask somebody, you can pick somebody.
Okay. Anyone from virtual stage?
We have Toastmaster Kamal on the virtual stage.
Okay. So. So Toastmaster Kamal, here's your picture. So Toastmaster Kamal, here's your picture. Techmaster, please show the same image to people present in the virtual room. Anyone knows the name of this painting? Yes, it's Japanese painting.
Speaker is there. Speaker is Toastmaster Kamal.
Okay. Should I start?
Yes, Toastmaster Kamal, you can start.
So I think, this painting, I don't know the name of this painting well, but what this painting depicts and reminds me of the life, basically. Because our life is full of waves and oceans. What happens is whenever we are into any stage of life, life goes like this only. It ups and downs, it moves like the waves of the sea. And this is how it depicts that there are certain times where are good in life, there are certain times which are bad in life. But the only thing that keeps moving is that we will be having the silent sea once the ups and downs are settled. So this basically gives me a glimpse of a hope in life that yes, there are bad days, so good days will be there. And I think this is one thing that is very important from the perspective of the entire humanity, because entire humanity is built upon hope and faith. And when we talk about a sea, it gives us the picture of different depictness and different aspects of life, where it tells us that a calm ocean talks about a life in a way which is going smooth and running fine. Talking about the abruptness of life or having difficulties in life shows us that the waves are really on an uptide and it's going to have a walk. But a real swimmer, a real person is that who comes out of life in a winning way. And I think this is what I would like to share seeing the picture at this moment. Thank you so much.
So, for your knowledge, as I said, I'll be giving a little details about this painting. The painting's name is The Great Wave of Kanagawa. The painter's name is Hokusai. The importance of this painting is that it was one of the first images to be used in the printing press in Japan. It was one of the first prints to be commercially sold in Japan, and after this image of painting being popularized, many others followed suit, and this type of printed images in people's homes, on magazine covers, on for art, it became a popular commercial activity. Right. So, who would like to volunteer next? Anyone from physical stage?
We have a lot of guests today.
Yeah, okay. And any, I'd like to ask, okay,
We have guests today.
okay, so I'd like to ask Just Praveen to be the next table topic speaker. Just Praveen, please take the stage. Here's your table topic, Just Praveen.
The picture.
Let me just show the picture to Toastmasters. You can observe the picture for 2 minutes.
First of all, thank you to give this opportunity to tell about this picture, what I can guess.
Whatever comes to you.
So, as per the image, I can see it there. This looks like some forest. There is some water caves and some footbridge, and there are so many trees. So we can relate this image to our life, that there is so good things in our life. Thank you.
Is anybody able to guess the name? No. So, the name of the painting is Bridge Over a Pond of Water Lilies. The artist is Monet. Monet is a very famous artist of the 20th century. So he made a series of paintings on water lilies, and he started a new style of painting. One thing I really like about this picture is that it shows bridge, and what comes to my mind when I see this picture is bridges. You can create bridges to connect with people and so on. It shows a connection. So, who would like to be the next volunteer?
Yeah, yes, well,
Just getting.
Yes, sir.
Yashwaran, here's your table topic. Let me show the, okay.
I think previous pieces.
Whatever comes to your mind. I don't know.
Something. Nothing is coming to mind. You can imagine yourself over here. I think this picture is about having a function at her home. So, so someone is organizing. Maybe it's a marriage event, and people have to organize these things. They are doing and they are doing the arrangement for the guests, which is really difficult. And if we are able to do that in our life, so that makes it really easy to connect with people. And when the connection is there, it's really great. I think that. What kind of food do you think will be served over there? Food. I'm not guessing. Like, this picture is not clear. I can just see the table, and there's no food. There's nothing.
Your favorite dish.
But that can't be. I think it's possible. It doesn't seem to me. I mean, Delhi, NCR, or North Syria. I mean, by dressing or culture, it's really. I mean, it's different from North area of India.
So, this painting is made by the famous legendary painter Vincent van Gogh. He is one of the most famous painters of all time, and even in the future. The painting's name is Cafe Terrace at Night. You can see it's a sort of cafeteria, and there's a terrace above it. The terrace is being lit with lanterns. It's nighttime, party time. So it's one of the most popular paintings of the artist. Now, moving on, who would like to be the next volunteer? Anyone from the virtual stage?
We have guest Nikita Rawat, the virtual stage.
Okay. Guest Nikita, here's your table topic.
Guest Nikita, you're not audible. You're not audible yet. You're not. No guest Nikita, you're not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible now.
Okay. So seeing at the image, I can see a lot of greenery and water around, and there are so many people enjoying the view. Deciphering this image, what I can say is, I can see a lot of harmony. The people are very happy. They are enjoying, they are enjoying their free time. and I see like a king and a queen, uh, and they all are like viewing the river, and like everyone is having a very happy time, and like I see people from various background, and that's it. I see people having a happy time.
The painting's name is somewhat difficult. The painting's name is A Sunday Afternoon on the Island of Le Grand Jatte. Jatte. It's a French painting. Jatte. 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 No. It's Jatte. The painter's name is George Jatte. It's a very famous painting. If you look it up. Moving on, I think I should call a few members of the Toastmasters.
We can wrap all this thing. That's
Okay, okay. But no member has been called for it.
Yes, Toastmaster command the voice to the stage. Yes.
Okay, so I think we should wrap up, or I should give one last topic.
We can wrap up.
Okay. So, ending the table topic session, I would like to hand over the stage to team out of the day, which is Toastmaster Malvika.
Kudos to all the speakers and table topic master for such an engaging session. Can we have the polls for best table topic speaker?
We will be having the polls for the best table topic speakers after the day.
Okay, so let's have a 5 minute break. We'll see you after 5 minutes. Can we have the vote for table topic speaker? Best table topic speaker.
On to me, Toastmaster Kamal.
Speakers for Toastmaster Kamal,
Guest Praveen.
guest Praveen, guest Varun,
And guest Nikhil.
and guest Nikhil. Are we done? So it's time for the last and the most crucial segment for the day, the evaluation segment. Also, my break continues. I'm too lazy, guys. So for this segment, I will call upon the most helpful person of CDTM. She really looks forward for Tuesday evenings as she loves spending time with her CDTM family. Can we have the Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So, welcome to the evaluation segment. So, as we all know, this is something that actually improves a lot in you personally, because we prepare as much as we are able to, and we come here, we deliver our speeches, but it's the evaluation that through which we get the feedback and we apply it in our next speeches, and gradually we do improve. So I feel this is one of the most important segments. So to carry forward this segment, I'll be calling first all the speech evaluators. With this, Toastmaster Arun, who evaluated Toastmaster Sakshi's speech, I would welcome him on the stage to give his evaluation.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. And I was mesmerized the way Sakshi told her story. And you know one thing, you are already a storyteller. Is there anybody who won't agree with me? No. Everybody is telling that you are a storyteller, and you will going to be, honing up your skills, and you will going to achieve that visual storyteller you are talking about. So starting with the recommendation, you were full of energy. The confidence was very good. There was a proper eye contact. And I could see that the story was so engaging, and you were able to engage the audience throughout your story. So kudos for that. Now, on the recommendation part, I would like to tell you that we can work upon the utilization of space more, and we can work more upon vocal variety. Apart from that, everything was fabulous, and I congratulate you for your fabulous, fantabulous storytelling. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind. Moving on, let's call upon the second evaluator, Toastmaster Arvind, who evaluated Toastmaster Christopher's speech.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. I had a privilege to evaluate Gursifat's speech today. Drawing a line for yourself. What a speech she has given. She is already an orator, and she has already nurtured herself as a speaker way too ahead. Now, she spoke like a leader. She was using the space so perfectly. She was there when she was
Tenka Singh, she was there when she was explaining her 5 rules, and she was here when she was talking about 3 C's: clear your boundaries, communicate, and committed to what you're saying. So it was fabulous. I really love the energy. I love the body language, usage of stage, and the voice modulation. What could I suggest her? To add some personal life experience to the speech. But maybe she's very young, so maybe she doesn't have. But something people like me, who are like always in life taken for granted. So I think there is some experience. If she, I can share many experiences that that I could inculcate in this speech. So that's what I think. Otherwise, it was fabulous. You excelled at the clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gesture, audience awareness, comfort level, interest, and you engage everybody in the audience. So that's it from my end. I wish you best of luck for your future. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind. So next we have Toastmaster Rashmi on the virtual stage, who evaluated Toastmaster Ritvik.
Once again, very good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and a warm evening, especially to TM Ritvik Dash. Beloved in your arms, as I had mentioned earlier also, and now also, I would like to appreciate, first of all, the catchy title that he had chosen for his speech. It was such a catchy title, it seemed to be like a slogan, and it raised the bar of curiosity, made each and everyone present here eager to listen to his speech. And he was 100% successful in making all the audience engaged to his speech, glued to his speech right from the moment one. And this was the very first objective of his speech. Congratulations to him for fulfilling the very first objective of his speech, to engage the audience with an unusual, unexpected topic. Great job done. I must also commend him the way he has increased the clarity of his. I would like to tell him that out of all the speeches I have heard from him, this was one of the most clearest speech. He had pronounced each and every word with proper pauses, with appropriate pronunciation, and with great precision. Moreover, he had wonderful eye contact as usual, and the body language was complementing his speech. For example, when he enacted the scene, when his father was standing at the back and he was having an ice cream with his girlfriend. So everybody could visualize that scene, and that was wonderfully enacted, and it complemented the speech very well. I must also not forget to appreciate the vocabulary used by. Yes, it is not only to be appreciated, rather it must be learned and imbibed in our vocabulary also. What words he had used, good words, philologist, misogynist, clandestine, consensual, and even the idioms like silver lining. Well, besides delivering a wonderful speech, still every speaker can take his or her speech to next level by incorporating some of the changes. And here the speaker could have done some changes to the structure of his speech. Yes, instead of directly telling the audience that who were the beloved, his parents, he could have just narrated the incidents and kept the suspense till end. And at the end, we would have come to know that yes, he was talking about his beloved parents. And also, similarly, instead of talking about the manner of parenting, he should have directly shared the incident. And ultimately, we would have concluded that yes, this is the present 21st century manner of parenting, which every parent needs to be abreast of. Overall, I would say I loved his speech, and I would just say that his speech not only was interesting, intriguing, but there was a wonderful takeaway also. That is a message for the parents. Great job done, Ritvik. And with certain changes, definitely keep on growing, keep on learning, and keep on nurturing your art of delivering speech. All the very best for future. Back to you, Madam Rose, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi. Now, I will request the tech master to launch the polls for the best evaluators, and for the physical audience, I will request you to cast your vote. And we are done. Thank you, everyone. So now I'll be presenting my report, my evaluation for all the evaluators. Talking about the first evaluator, Toastmaster Arun. Then he evaluated an icebreaker, and giving a positive evaluation is what a speaker needs when he first he or she first delivers their speeches. So that Toastmaster Arun did, but as always, I felt a little more suggestions or recommendations could have worked more. Though the speaker's speech was amazing, and I personally felt no recommendations, but we circulate evaluation forms. So there are various points in those evaluation forms which the evaluator can look upon and present that in their report. Talking about the second evaluator, Toastmaster Arvind, he read out the speech objectives before the speech. So that was done, and the evaluation was good. He used the CRC approach: first commendation, recommendation, and then commendation. So that was done. But one thing that I wanted to share with both the evaluators is that when we evaluate, we do not present our evaluation taking the by taking the name of the speaker. For example, Toastmaster Sakshi, you said XYZ in your speech. We used in the form that the speaker presented XYZ point in the speeches. So we do not present our report directly to the speaker. So that is what I would recommend to both the speakers. Talking about the third evaluator, Toastmaster Rashmi. Well, sweet as always, Toastmaster Rashmi was her evaluation was quite detailed. She used the CRC approach and elaborated all the recommendations that Toastmaster Ritvik can consider and improve upon in future speeches. So that was done. So in conclusion, these are the 2 points that all the evaluators should work upon. First, to read out the evaluation form properly, because each speech has an objective, and there are certain areas in which that speech can be evaluated. So that is one thing, and another, to present the report using the word speaker and in that form. So that is done. Now I'll call upon the team of auxiliary role players to present their report, who observed each and every one of you throughout the meeting. So with that, I'll be calling the timer Toastmaster Rajiv on the physical space with his report.
So, as you know, I'm the timer for the day. But before I start, I'd like to mention that today's theme was Family of Asia Magic Formula. So I'll tell you what, in 2017, when I was traveling to Tokyo, no matter it's your family, where you are staying right now, even your extended family is also part of the family. So after 6 days of business meetings, so you crave for that Indian food. Then you realize the importance of your family members. Then you call them up, hey, can I come to your place for some food? I mean, this was the one of the things that motivated you to meet your family members. You were traveling abroad. Also, the same year, I was taking a bullet train from Tokyo to Osaka. And, our the Toastmasters, so the painting. In the painting, it was the painting of Mount Fuji. So I asked, the ticket collector there that if you can help me, what time I can see the Mount Fuji. So he said, okay, fine, wait. So he took out a notepad and he said, okay, you're in this position. So, at 2 o'clock, 15 minutes and 40 seconds, you can see. I said, like, what? 40 seconds? I mean, so precise they were. In India, if you're going from Delhi to down south, if you say, what time Taj Mahal I can see, it's again somewhere between 4 to 5 o'clock or maybe in the evening. So, that sort of preciseness and time management that Japan has. The story why I'm telling you, because I'm the timer of the day. I hope you enjoyed some of the facts and stories that I told you. So I will start with the table topics. Toastmaster Kumar, he was on time, 1 minute and 35 seconds. Then guest Praveen with 55 seconds. Guest Varun 1.25 and guest Nikita 1.06 seconds. So Praveen, since you are the guest, so probably another 5 seconds will have helped you to reach the qualifying time. Then coming to the prepared speeches. So Toastmasters Sakshi, though congratulations for your ice breaking. Just 29 seconds you were above, but apart from that, the speech is perfect. Good is not there. So she was on, she was 6 minutes and 57 seconds on time. And Ritvik, 7 minutes 34 seconds. He exceeded by 1 minute 34 seconds. Coming to evaluation, Arun, the actual time was between 2 to 3. You took 1.30 seconds, which you did not qualify. You needed another 30 seconds to be on the stage. Same goes for Arun, another 30 seconds will have added you to the qualification, to qualify you. And roughly 4 minutes, you exceeded the limit.
Is anyone qualified for the value?
Yeah, so auxiliary role, I'm coming to auxiliary role.
For the role of evaluator. Is
Eval-
anyone qualified for that?
No.
I think, for example, it's 2 minutes, 30 seconds is the upper limit and 30 seconds.
We have
Okay, so we can take a call on that.
Yes.
All right. So I'm coming to the auxiliary role play. So we have, so of course me, when I started, I exceeded 5 minutes. I don't know why. 2 minutes, I still time myself next time as well. Toastmaster Praveen, 1 minute 21 seconds. He qualified within the time. Toastmaster Kamal, parliamentarian, he played the role of parliament, 2 minutes 14 seconds. So 14 seconds is okay, like you can count it. Raghav, listener's role, 2.27 seconds. Again, good job within parameters. Anmol, 2 minutes 14 seconds, and Raghav, I think last time also you gave me opportunity to speak about you, about a lot of us. So also this time also you didn't surprise me. So 3 minutes 40 seconds. So you exceeded 1.40 seconds. Thank you. This is my report. Thank you.
The language evaluator and more with it.
Thank you, GE. Now, why are we laughing? Something very fun. So, well, what a great bunch of speeches we had. From icebreaker speech to a speech by I call him very distinguished Toastmaster today, to Toastmaster Gurshipar, who gave us a counseling lesson call it. Well, but in those speeches were a bunch of very good uses of English. Let me tell you some of those good uses of English. Well, words, like some of the good uses of English, words were introspective, blissful hobby, engrossed, perplexed, possessional material boundary. I haven't even heard of this word. Immaculate, decipher. These are some of the very great uses of English, and kudos to the speakers and whoever said those. Now, the only one bad use of English, which was hard, was on my mouth. Instead, it's actually hard in my mouth. My heart was in my mouth. Or heart, your heart comes into your mouth. It doesn't come on your mouth. Well, moving on to the word of the day. The word of the day was used by Toastmaster Rajiv, Toastmaster Raghav, Toastmaster Sakshi, Toastmaster Rudra, Toastmaster Arvind, and Toastmaster Rashmi. Well, all in all, this was a really great bunch of speeches with a really great use of English. Well, we had a little bad use of English, but nonetheless, well, that's all from my side. Back to my evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anmol. Next up, we have our counter Toastmaster Praveen with his report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So we had listened to a variety of speeches, and all the speeches were great. But somehow in those speeches, there were a little bit of filler sounds and filler words, but not that much. So I will present my report. In the prepared section, first we had Toastmaster Sakshi, who used filler word so 2 times and 1 repetitive word. And Toastmaster Ritwik had used filler word well and 2 times. And TM Gursupat did not have any filler words and filler sounds. It was flawless. So a big round of applause to us. Further, in the table topic section, Toastmaster Kamal had used the filler word 2 to 3 times, and guest Praveen had used word several times, and guest Varun had also used filler sounds 3 to 4 times. So this was my report, and I would urge all the speakers while giving their speeches just to be a little cautious and to be more effective, and they can minimize the use of filler words and sounds, and they can give more effective speeches. So thank you, and back to General.
Next up, we have Toastmaster Kamal on the virtual stage.
Thank you, General Evaluator Navya, for letting me present the report. Well, first of all, I would like to say that CDTM is one of the most nurtured groups across the Toastmaster clubs, and that is the reason why we have such a wonderful meeting. But still, I would like to share that there are certain things that can be improved upon. Is like one is that I find the entire meeting there were around 60% of the cameras which were switched off. So it would be good if we have more faces on the screen, because it helps people to have more bonding. Speakers get more feedback and more confidence in speaking in front of large audiences. That is one. The second thing is I find certain crosstalks happening. So it would be good if we avoid that crosstalks. And one thing that I would like to share is that I found one of the speeches to be talking about certain genders in a manner which could have been in a better language, in a more considerate language. This is what I felt. So I think this is for the today's role of the parliament from my side. So thank you so much. Over to you, G. Navya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kamal. Now let's see how attentive we all were throughout the 2 hours of the meeting. So to check up on that, we have our listener, Toastmaster Raghav, on the physical stage.
So once again, very good evening, everybody. So are you guys ready for answering some spicy questions? Yes. Yes. Are you excited? Yes. Okay. So I'll start with an easy one. The day Toastmasters Sakshi's grandfather took her to Jhada, she was watching a show and she mentioned the name of the character of the show. Can somebody name the name? Excellent. Okay, well done. Okay. Now, in the speech of Toastmaster Guru, she mentioned 3 C's. As Toastmaster mentioned them again. So can anybody name them? Except the speaker and evaluator.
One was commitment.
That's right. And other 2? Come on.
Communicate.
Communicate. One more. Yes. No. That's right. Okay. Now this should be which movie Toastmaster Raghu was watching when he was to Martin? That's all right. So last question. After Toastmasters Sakshi came back from her trip with her mother, what she decided to become? She used 2 words before. No, before story. Sorry?
3 words.
No, not a visual and verbal. She said verbal. Okay. Okay, that's all from my side.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghav. I would request the Techmaster to launch the polls for best auxiliary Toastmaster on the virtual stage, and for the physical audience, you can cast your vote. I will start my report for the timer, as we are short with time. So, talking about Toastmaster Rajiv, he did relate with the theme in the introductory speech as well as in his report, but at least being a timer, you have to follow the time limit given to you. So he exceeded both the times, so that should have been avoided. We'll keep that in mind from next meeting. Right. Then language evaluator Toastmaster Anmol, he could have one recommendation that I'd like to give, that he could have brought printouts of word of the day and idiom of the day, because as compared to our previous meetings, today the usage of word of the day was a little less, I felt. So if we present those printouts to all the audience, so that can increase the usage of word of the day. Then talking about our counter, so yes, he presented his report accurately, but I felt you could have talked about more ways to overcome these R's and ums, because I am one of those people who constantly use R's all throughout her speeches with evaluations every single time. So the other day I was asking one of my mentors that how can I improve upon these things. So presenting those points in your report can actually help out all the speakers. So that is one recommendation. Otherwise, your report was quite accurate. Then talking about parliamentarian Toastmaster Karmal. So a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Karmal. This was the first time he did any role in the meeting. So yes, and the report was accurate. Your introductory speech was quite good. You mentioned all the rules that need to be followed throughout the meeting, as well as in the report you mentioned that yes, we all know 60% of the cameras are off throughout the meeting. So and yes, so the report was quite accurate. Then listener Toastmaster Raghav, your questions were engaging, and yes, the role was done properly. as you came in the introductory segment, so you talked about, you related your thoughts with the theme. So that was done, and the questions were also engaging. Then talking about the last auxiliary role there, Toastmaster Raghav. So the content was humorous, and you presented it confidently as well. But one recommendation that I'd like to give is we should not use Hindi slang to make the content funny. That is one thing that I felt, because being a joke master, we come here to, we should not use Hindi slang. And that is all from for my report for the auxiliary roles there. Now talking about the meeting in general, Sa was on time, full of energy, and the mission of the club was set, and he introduced the president as well. Talking about the president, yes, he started the meeting with an inspiring personal story about how Toastmaster is a door to is an open door to opportunities and experiences. And 30 seconds of world peace was also done. Now talking about the TMOD. Well, what an amazing TMOD. Clapping for her too, because this was the first time she was working, and I know how nervous she was before speaking. But yes, she conducted the meeting amazingly, and theme was quite engaging. I think everyone can relate to this theme, and this was shown in the meeting how each and every auxiliary role player, speaker, evaluator came on the stage and spoke about the theme. So this is what we need when we select a theme, that it should be relatable to every single member in the meeting. And yes, she introduced all the role players and speakers properly, and I felt that she did her job very confidently, and yes, the topic was relatable, and the content was really nice written, and as well as she presented it very confidently. So that's it. Now I will hand over the stage back to the president.
Before we go any further, let me request the tech master to raise the poll for the best role player, and could the basket be passed for the balance for the best role player? The best role player, the role players for today was Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Malvika, table topic master, Toastmaster Rudra, and our general evaluator, Toastmaster Navya. While the votes are being casted, I would now like to make two announcements. The first one being CDTM, for the first time in a long time, is planning an informal/sports meet. This informal/sports meet is for us to connect with each other on an informal level, apart from our venue, apart from those daily Tuesday meetings. This particular informal meet would be happening on a Sunday. What or which particular Sunday? This particular Sunday will be decided by you. I will be sharing a Google form on the group with the particular dates of the Sunday of the upcoming month, and then you can choose which Sunday and which particular date with the highest number of votes would be selected. I would then send out an invite for all of you with the location and the timing. Since we have lovely weather in Delhi during evening times, we have monsoon, we would have an amazing time in our upcoming informal meet. Moving on, the second announcement, as everyone over here who's a member knows, that we have started with our renewal for the term of October 2022 to the term of March 2023, in order to ensure the longevity of our club, in order to keep our CDTM intact, and in order to grow together. It is insisted, it is recommended that we should all renew as soon as possible. To make this process easier for you, we, with our treasury team, have meticulously and in a very detailed manner prepared an early bird offer for all of you. This early bird offer is at the price of 1,100 per month, and this for this term, for the upcoming term, would amount up to 6,600 in total. I would really recommend you to ask yourself, what is your why before you go ahead and renew. Once you have that clear definition of what is your why of joining Toastmasters, what is the reason that you joined Toastmasters, be it becoming a good public speaker, be it becoming confident, be it removing your stage fright, or be it having stuff to say impromptu. Make it clear. Make it clear that this is what I want, and then go ahead and renew. The early bird offer is going to expire soon. It is only available till 6th September. Let us now come on to the best role players, best speakers, and best evaluators for today. I apologize for the delay, and I also apologize for the fact that today we do not have certificates. We will make sure that the next time the winners for today will get the certificate. Who do you think was the best speaker for the day? Was it Toastmaster Sakshi with the icebreaker speech? Was it Toastmaster Gulsafat, or was it Toastmaster Vivek on the virtual speech? It was Toastmaster Sakshi with the icebreaker speech. Now, who was the best table topic speaker? Was it Toastmaster Kamal? Was it guest Saveen? Was it guest Varun? Or was it guest Nikita? Wow. Okay. It was indeed Toastmaster Kamal. Coming up to the best evaluator, who was the best evaluator for today? Toastmaster Arun, Toastmaster Arvind, or Toastmaster Lakshmi? Toastmaster Lakshmi, but disqualified. But winner, Toastmaster Lakshmi. If she would not have been disqualified, Toastmaster Lakshmi would have won by a clear majority. But since she is disqualified, the winner is Toastmaster Arvind. Thank you very much. Who was the best auxiliary role player? Was it our timer for the day? Who exceeded time? Toastmaster. Was it our language evaluator? Was it Toastmaster Anupam? Was it our counter? Toastmaster Praveen? Was it our parliamentarian? Toastmaster Kamal? Was it our listener for the day? Toastmaster Raghav Luna? Or was it our Toastmaster for the day? Again, Toastmaster Raghav 2. Any guesses? Just like the last poll, with the same ambiguity, if Toastmaster Rajiv would not have exceeded the time, he would have won by a clear majority. But since Toastmaster Rajiv exceeded time, it is our count for the Toastmaster Praveen. Last but not the least, who is the best role player? Our Toastmaster today with the topic family and Asia. Our table topic master, Toastmaster Rudra, with his extremely amazing collection of paintings, or was it a general evaluated Toastmaster Navya? It was indeed our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Navya. I will now request the guest to stay till the end for a small and quick, brief guest meeting. With this, I conclude the meeting, and I request everyone to gather on the stage for a quick group picture.